Alright, brothers and sisters, welcome to another YouTube video I'm making for my Melaninimation channel. Right now I'm dealing with this writing my story from scratch. And the story is Death versus Racism. Death versus Racism. Yep, you heard right. And this is me starting to write the writing process of it. I gotta do it myself. There are many people who do writing for a career. And it's thousands of dollars, like $30,000 a year or more. I've done a video about that. You can check out my video. I think it was called How We Be Kicking People Jobs in 3D or in CG. Something like that. Anyway, hey man, there's many careers I have to do. One man doing many people's jobs and careers. And one of them is writing. That's the first thing you do. Got the writing right there. Death versus Racism. Okay? You know how people have movies and they have slogans like Jaws. Don't go in the water alone. Stuff like that. Well, alright, Death versus Racism. It has a slogan, right? It's saying, in life, you are promised two things. That's death and taxes. But if you're dark skinned, there's one other. And that's racism. Yep. Basically, that's how I would put it down. Something like that. Trying to sound like those movie voices from the makers of Nishwi and Aisha brings you Death versus Racism. Let me see. Alright, yeah. So that's the slogan for it. Now, you know how Star Wars have that little scroll thing? It'd be like Star Wars, and then it starts scrolling them words up. Alright, it'd be like once. What they say? Not once upon a time. They say dang, in a galaxy far, far away. Well, here, it's in a land denied away. Denied away. It's denied away. I think that's clever personally. Right? That's what's it's not necessarily gonna scroll on the screen, but that's gonna be up on the screen. It's gonna be like in the land, denied away. Alright, I could read y'all a little bit of my story, how it's gonna start. And I take these up, I see better up close from their side. Open to a court building in morning time. Shot of a building from ground up. Transition to a judge. He says, the verdict of the jury is in the case of James Green. Cut to the mother of the family, wiping away some tears, who was stopped in a traffic stop by 6 cops and shot 7,000 times by Officer Barry White, Rico Haytes, Stills Lynch, Adolph Reich, Chen Hang, and Saidi Sellout. Shot until deceased. The jury find the officers not guilty on all counts. The Brighties in the audience stand and cheer and pats the officers on the back. They chant, "We got your back. We got your back." Cut to the dark-skinned family who start crying while some background Brighties behind them is pointing, taunting, and laughing at them. The grandfather, he stands up, raises his arms to the heaven and says, "My God, who has our back?" At that moment, the lights start flickering on and off. The doors are blocked suddenly with magically appearing brick walls with graffiti sprayed on them. The walls appears to rise up from the ground and slam into the doorways, blocking everyone's exit. Okay, the audience starts screaming in panic. What the heck is going on? The dark-skinned family stays calm, looking around nervously. Arms of black color reach up from the ground. A mist form out of nowhere in the courtroom. Everyone start panicking and running. But the dark-skinned family, they stay seated and calm. No arms is grabbing them. The arm grabs the Brighties in the audience. The Brighties scream and try to run. Headstones appear from nowhere, out from the floor. A mist covered the floor. And some brothers, I missed. Headstones appear from the bottom of the mist with names on them from brothers who were shot and killed by cops. Death Brother Nat slowly arises with 4 coffins surrounding him. The judge and cops all stand in fear, paralyzed, with black arms covering them. And they can't move. The Death Brother that appeared out of nowhere holds a sickle. The sickle turns into a spear. The Death Brother then holds up the spear and slams it down. The cops get skewered. That means it right through them, kind of gory. And they get elevated up into the air, and a fire comes out of nowhere and roasts them. They're getting roasted like pigs. Like the pigs those hunkies are. The arms become inflamed and start burning everyone, except for the dark family who sit still and quiet, looking around, taking it all in, seeing all the carnage. All of these hunkies is getting what they deserve. And Death Brother Nat, he points at the Brighty audience, and all of the arms ignite into flames, burning everyone. Death Brother slowly descends down into the mist with the coffins. Okay. And that's a little bit of the beginning. I could just summarize the rest of the scene. The firemen and other authorities come to the courtroom and they manage to get in. And all they find is the family sitting there smiling. The dark-skinned family sitting there smiling. Just chilling. And all the Brighties in that courtroom burned to a crisp. That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. It's kind of like a horror. It's kind of like a horror and a superhero movie with a little bit of horror to it. It's not a whole lot of gore, but you're going to see a little bit of stuff. A little bit of gore here and again. But that beginning right there that's some horrific stuff, man. Come out and burn them Brighties all up, all them racist people getting burned up there rejoicing because these cops shot a dark-skinned man and got away with it, and lynched him and got away with it. and now they got their comeuppance. I mean, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to bring out fantasies, you know. We don't get it for real. We don't get this thing should happen. This kind of thing need to happen for real. But it's not happening. You know, so when we go to relax and get entertained, you know, back in our heads, this kind of fantasy, for dark-skinned people, is in our souls, it's in our minds, we back deep down inside. That's why I'm making these kind of movies. I'm trying to bring our fantasies to life. Our fantasies, our dreams, our hopes, and bring them into life for our people. It's good for you to see your fantasies and your hopes, and you know, and your dark-skinned people and everything that pertains to you in your way, in our light, in our. We got right to have our own dark-skinned fantasy. You know, the bright-skinned people got theirs. You got Chinese people got theirs. Europeans have their fantasies. Middle Eastern people have their fantasies. Why can't we have our own fantasies for dark-skinned people? So I dare to do that. Yes, I dare to do that. So that is some of the writing that I'm doing for Death versus Racism. And that's the beginning. I've been doing a lot of writing over the past few weeks. And I'm still working on it. It looks like it might take another month. I'm going to try for that not to happen. But I do have to complete writing this once, go over it and rewrite it again, going over parts that may be too long, too wordy, too boring, or just changing. I might have to change the story. I might even have to change the whole story up. But I have to make it entertaining, fun, also interesting, and not boring, and, you know, make sure I get some realism in it. You know, so that's why I'm doing with the writing. I'm doing some work. I'm doing, you know, hooking it up with the writing, you know. Some work. So that's the phase. So, you know, next time I make a video, I might read from my latest entry, because I just read the beginning. That's the beginning. I'm far from that. I'm pages from the beginning. I could read some of the latest stuff to catch y'all up on where I'm at, you know? So that's what I'll do in the next video. And then I'll keep doing that for some videos until I get the writing finished. And then we move on to the next phase, which is storyboarding. So, okay, that's all I got to show for y'all for now. So, until next time, love, respect.